All right, let's dive into some everyday German. We're going to take these Alltagsphasen, these super useful daily phrases, and turn them from a boring list of words into a real communication toolkit. Because it's not about just memorizing, right? It's about having the confidence to actually use them. So let's get you ready to speak.
You know that feeling, don't you? That split second of panic when you need to say something simple and your mind just goes completely blank? Well, we're going to fix that. We're going to walk through a whole typical day in Germany, from that morning rush all the way to chilling out in the evening, and give you the exact phrases you need right when you need them. And so it begins. First up, we're going to conquer the morning. This means everything from what you say at home before you leave to navigating that all-important daily commute.
Ah, the classic morning drama. You can just picture it. You're running for the tram and you see the doors close right in your face. It happens. To sound like a local when it does, this is your go-to phrase. Ich habe die Straßenbahn verpasst. It simply means I missed the tram.
But you can't just leave them hanging, right? You need the second part. Und komme etwas später. Put it all together, and you have this perfect little package. Ich habe die Straßenbahn verpasst und komme etwas später. It's direct, it's polite, and it tells them everything they need to know. This really lays out the two sides of any commute, doesn't it? You've got the plan, and then you've got reality. On a good day, it's a smooth, ich bin gerade auf dem Weg zur Arbeit. I'm on my way to work. But for those other days, you've got your backup phrase ready. It's all about having the right tool for the job. Of course, the day starts before you even walk out the door. You've got to coordinate things at home. Maybe you ask, könntest du bitte den Müll rausbringen? Or drop a reminder, wir müssen heute noch einkaufen gehen. Just checking in on someone, hast du schon gegessen? And hey, if you're feeling good, you can share that. Ich habe heute gute Laune. I'm in a good mood today. Okay, you've made it through the commute, you're in the office. Now it's time to handle the German workplace. A land of projects, meetings, and of course, lunch breaks. Let's get you equipped. Now this one is a game changer for teamwork. Könntest du mir bitte bei diesem Projekt helfen? Could you please help me with this project? This isn't about looking weak. In a professional setting, knowing how to ask for help politely and clearly is a total superpower.
Exactly. This phrase is so much more than a question. It's a bridge. You're not just getting help for yourself, you're showing you respect your colleagues' abilities, and you're opening the door to work together. It's absolutely fundamental for building good relationships at work.
I mean, these three phrases basically tell the story of every office job ever. You start off strong. Ich habe heute meine Präsentation vorbereitet. Then the inevitable happens. Die Besprechung dauert länger als geplant. The meeting's running late, which leads to the final push. Ich muss noch einen Bericht schreiben. That's a whole day in a nutshell. And here's a slightly funny, but probably pretty accurate pie chart of the German workday. You've got your massive slice for meetings, an equally massive one for writing reports, but check out that last piece. 20% for Spaziergänge, or walks. That little midday stroll, it's a real institution, a cherished way to clear your head and recharge. The workday is over, but the day itself is not. Now it's time to run some errands. And we're heading straight to the most common battlefield of all, the supermarket. Let's get you ready to shop like you've been doing it for years.
Okay, if you only learn one word for shopping, make it this one. Sonderangebot. It means special offer, and it's your golden ticket. Spotting this word is how you find the best deals, the best bargains, anything on sale. This word is your new best friend.
So how do you use this magic word? You walk right up and ask, Gibt es heute ein Sonderangebot? Is there a special offer today? It's a simple, direct question that not only saves you money, but also makes you sound like you know exactly what you're doing.
Think of this question as your own personal key. You're not just passively browsing anymore, you're actively hunting for the best value. It's a small phrase that totally empowers you, shifting you from feeling like a visitor to feeling like an insider.
And here are a few more essentials for your errand-running toolkit. You can rattle off your shopping list. Ich brauche noch Brot, Käse und Eier. You could even politely question a price. And of course, you'll need to ask for directions or maybe a little help with heavy bags. These are just really practical phrases for getting things done.
All right, errands are done, groceries are put away, and now we get to the best part of the day, relaxing and actually connecting with people. So let's look at the phrases that help you do just that.
Look at this. A perfect little mini conversation for making plans. It starts with a simple suggestion. Was hältst du davon, ins Kino zu gehen? And you get this great enthusiastic response. Ich freue mich, dich wiederzusehen. It's a simple, warm, and totally natural exchange.
And here we have it, the perfect summary for the kind of day we've just walked through. Der Tag war anstrengend, aber auch erfolgreich. It means the day was exhausting, but also successful. A feeling I think we all know very, very well.
And you know, this is more than just a statement. It's a conversation starter. When you share this with someone, you're inviting them to ask what happened, to connect over that shared experience of a long but satisfying day. It's a fantastic little bit of small talk.
And to round out our evening, just a few cozy phrases. Maybe you're having people over. Ich lade heute Abend Freunde zum Essen ein. Or you're just making small talk about a movie you saw. And then, the perfect end to it all. Nach dem Abendessen entspanne ich mich gern auf dem Sofa. I like to relax on the sofa after dinner. Sounds pretty good?
So let's zoom out and look at our whole day. We started on our way to work, got stuck in that long meeting, went hunting for deals at the supermarket, and finally crashed on the sofa. Every single phrase we learned was a specific tool for a specific moment. You've basically just lived a whole day in Germany, linguistically speaking.
We've gone from the morning rush all the way to a relaxing evening. And in the process, we've built a pretty amazing toolkit of practical, everyday German. So I guess the only question left is, now that you have all these words, which conversation are you going to start first?
Have you ever wanted to just navigate a full day in Germany and actually sound like you belong there? Well, in this explainer, we're going to give you the exact phrases you need, from the moment you wake up all the way to your plans for the evening.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Think of this as an immersive experience. For the next few minutes, we're going to live an entire day, but we're going to do it in German, using the language in real, everyday situations you'd actually find yourself in. Here's how it's going to work. We'll follow a really simple story, from that morning rush, right through the workday, and into the evening. And along the way, we'll be picking up these crucial building blocks for a natural, flowing conversation. First up, the morning rush. You know the one, that chaotic time filled with routines, coffee, and the daily commute. Let's get the language you need to get through it.
It all starts right here. Let's try it. Ich stehe normalerweise 7 Uhr auf. Now, did you notice that? The verb aufstehen, to get up, actually splits in two. You say ich stehe, and the auf gets punted all the way to the end. That's a classic feature of German you're going to hear everywhere.
Okay, so you're up. Now let's connect that action to the next one. Before I go to office, I make myself a coffee. That word before, meaning before, is your best friend for building longer, more natural sentences. You're not just listing things, you're explaining the sequence. First this, then that.
Of course. Let's be real. Mornings don't always go according to plan. So this phrase is a lifesaver for those moments. Ich habe die Straßenbahn verpasst. I missed the tram. It's the perfect, totally understandable excuse for why you're running a little bit late.
All right, you've survived the commute and made it to the office. Now we shift gears into the professional world. Let's look at the language of tasks, colleagues, and, yes, all those meetings.
So you sit down at your desk, and what's the first thing that happens? Your boss hands you a new assignment. Here's exactly how you talk about it. Mein Chef hat mir eine neue Aufgabe gegeben. It's a really straightforward way to use the past tense to describe something that just happened. This is the language of productivity, pure and simple. On the one hand, you're stating what you've already accomplished. Ich habe heute viele E-Mails beantwortet. You know, checking things off your to-do list. But on the other hand, you're looking ahead to what still needs to get done. Ich muss noch einen Bericht schreiben. It's how you talk about progress.
You know, collaboration is everything. So knowing how to ask for help politely is an absolutely crucial skill. Könntest du mir bitte bei diesem Projekt helfen? That word könntest is the magic ingredient here. It's the German equivalent of a soft could you, which turns what could be a demand into a much more polite and friendly request.
And just like that, the workday is done. You're heading home, and your focus is shifting away from projects and emails and toward your personal life. So, what's next on the agenda?
Okay, we're officially in the evening now. This part of the day is all about running those after-work errands, maybe socializing with some friends, and finally just winding down.
First stop, the supermarket. Now, to turn this simple list into a sentence, you can use the super useful phrase, ich brauche noch, which just means I still need.
So you'd say, ich brauche noch Brot, Käse und Eier. See? Simple.
But once you're in the store, you actually have to find everything. Wo finde ich die Milchprodukte? This is a simple, direct question that is your absolute best friend in any German supermarket. You can just swap out Milchprodukte for anything on your list. It's essential. Now for the fun part, making plans. Check this out. Wir könnten uns am Wochenende treffen, oder? That little oder at the end is fantastic. It's like adding right or don't you think? It turns a statement into this soft collaborative suggestion. It's a real game changer for sounding friendly.
So as the day winds down, you might find yourself making a little small talk. Someone asks, so, how was your day? This is a great reflective way to answer. Der Tag war anstrengend, aber auch erfolgreich. It perfectly balances the hard work with the positive outcome. Okay, so we've covered all these individual building blocks, but how do you put them all together to sound genuinely fluent? This section is all about leveling up your conversational game. This slide shows you the incredible power of a single word. You start with two simple, separate facts. It rained, and we went for a walk. But then, by using obwohl, which means although, you connect them into one sophisticated thought. Obwohl es geregnet hat, sind wir spazieren gegangen. You're not just reporting facts, you're explaining the relationship between them. Now let's look at a phrase you will hear constantly in Germany, sich freuen auf. It means to look forward to something. And it's so important because it adds genuine emotion to your plans. When you say, ich freue mich darauf, dich bald zu sehen, you're not just stating a fact, you're showing your excitement. And finally, here's how you talk about things that aren't quite reality yet. This is for all your wishes and dreams. Wenn ich mehr Zeit hätte, würde ich öfter Sport machen. The structure, if I had, I would do, is how you express all those hypothetical possibilities. It's a huge step towards real fluency.
And there you have it. That's a full day in German. You're now armed with the actual phrases you need to navigate dozens of common situations. So the only question left is the one right there on your screen. What will you say tomorrow? Thanks for joining this